Hello and welcome back to my channel on Airsoft Toys. These are Airsoft toys. Now you're probably going to laugh why I'm saying that. Well, believe it or not, I got a video removed, or I should say halted, stalled, investigated, just to check if I don't know what they did. So no longer is my name. I would like to be known as. That is a joke in case anyone reports me or takes it seriously, because there is a lot of people out there that. Now, let's look at this. Now, I know for a fact you've probably seen 1,000 videos on these at the moment, but I get asked a lot of questions, and I have quite a unique following of characters who have a sense of humor, and they do ask me, what do I think? Now, let's face facts. When we all started, we started with a little plastic, and we were there like that. And if you're on the games, you look around and everyone's done and around. And then if you're lucky, you advance and you can get adapters filling your gas, you know what I mean? And again, you da-da-da-da-da. And then again, you do, you might even get better like I did. And you know what I mean? And then it breaks constantly. And you got to do a little video on how to fix it. But I did spend some time on the games talking to people about all their automatic loaders and what they got and what they think of it. And do you know what I mean? Some of them are the size of ammo containers, I'm sure you see it. And then some of them are quite interesting because they've bought them from China. I'm not saying it's a problem, wouldn't be sued. And it breaks. So I did quite a lot of chatting to people, and I came up with the Autobot. Okay. And again, I went and see my mate, and he taught me into it. No, he didn't. But the thing is, I just want to chit chat about the pros and cons I've come across using it. I've used it on about 2 games now, but I've obviously been using it on my small range here because I'm lazy. But let's have a chit chat what you get, because there's something that I didn't know that some of the videos didn't talk about. Let me explain. So I've already said I've actually used this on a few games. That's why I'm doing the video now. So you get it in the box. Look, I've kept the box. A lot of people are quite surprised about that because I usually destroy the boxes. However, right, okay. Now, when you buy from certain stores now, you get the battery, okay? And we'll talk more about the battery, if you don't mind, in a bit. You get a little pad, okay? Now, don't forget, it's all wrapped, so don't you pull wrapping apart. Jesus. But anyway, that goes on the bottom. That's obviously an anti-slip pad. Yes, I have not put it on yet. I will plan to do it probably after I've done the video. And then you get a little plastic bag, and you get all your adapters. Right, okay, the adapters themselves. Let's talk about them, right? Now, you've got the gas blowback one. Okay, I will show you. We'll see how I go on that one, okay? You do have your spring, which, this is what I said, not a lot of people mentioned about this. They just said, there's your adapter, put it to the side. And then you've got the AEG. And again, there's something that I want to highlight for. And then this. I do not know what that is. And if you do, I'd appreciate it. Because on that, okay, then you've got your booklet. Now, It's in English and French. And there's not much detail in it. There is a diagrams, I'm sure you appreciate that, yeah. And they'll probably say that you shouldn't be touching this if you're that daft, you can't work it out. That's so you put your questions at the back. Now, I did go on to EMG International, okay? I did go on their official website, and all I'll say is this, because they're never going to work with me, let's face facts, I'm only small. Their marketeer director must have used to work for BlackBerry, because it's crap, okay? Don't really say anything. And when you actually look across a lot of the sites in Airsoft, I'm not being funny to any of you out there, but you've got to remember, we like information. Airsofters like information. They like information to tell us what the product does. And yes, you can get videos now of some of them stripping these down. And I'll tell you now, some of the videos are really detailed. But if I have to strip this down, we have a problem. Now, if you don't mind, get rid of that. Definitely get rid of that. And as for that, That's not use. Now, I am sure those of you that have watched videos in the past on this have seen certain things. Like, we've all heard about the complaints about how tight this is to get in there with the Dean's connector. Okay. I'm sure you can see. Okay. It's only a connection. Okay. And then you've got your Dean's connector, and you've got to be very careful how you get that in there as neat as possible. And as you can see, look, I'm already struggling. Now, I have seen that a lot of people do things like they get the new extender for the bottom and things like that. I presume it's to make life easier for themselves, but that is just snug. That's a nice word for me for a change, isn't it? I'm sure people will be quite impressed with my vocabulary today. Now, there, it's in. We're happy. It is tight, and the only thing I worry about that, this is me, okay, is I'm sure those of you that use AEGs as well will know that if you're putting that in and out constantly and you're not careful, you can end up cracking the cable or the wire. And I've done that with one of my AEGs already, with the Deans, because I'm constantly trying to fidget and get it in as neat as possible. I've actually had to put more insulation tape around it to protect it. Enough of that. Now, as you're looking at it, don't break the brains of an archbishop. My top tip to everyone, keep that closed. Constantly. There's no need to open it. No need to open it unless you're going to put one of the adapters on it. Okay? Plus, it's strong plastic. Lovely logo. Okay? There's nothing much, just, you know what I mean? As they say, it's a bit ribbed so that you can actually get a grip and have a bit of a cover on it. On and off. I'm going to say another top tip for me, keep it off. You'll wonder why, but if you start when you're putting adapters on and things like that, and you've got that on, everything goes everywhere. And I saw a guy the other day that I was doing a game with, fantastic bloke. He accidentally kept that on, and there was BBs flying everywhere. And he even in his panic, he just kept on pressing it, which I'm sorry, but I'd laugh. You've got a rubber, obviously, cover. That was clever, wasn't it? See that flying? Told you this is all live in a contact. Now, you start seeing the BBs there. And I'm going to say this again. You have to be careful that you haven't got this on when you're starting to put the adapters on. Now, let's just put that to the side and that to the side. That's the spring one to the side. And if someone says in the comments what it is, thanks. I do appreciate it. Thank you very much. So again, I've got it off. And I'm going to start off with the difficult ones first, if that's all right with you. Let's just start off with the difficult one. So I'm going to try, obviously, the gas, okay? So what I noticed, you've got an Allen key, okay, connector, the little bolt that you can tighten it on to stop it turning. I didn't see it as a problem, to tell you the truth, because I have to adapt. Because when I'm firing on my games, I'm using... what do you call it? I'm using gas pistol and usually an A&G. I've very rarely used, again, my gas blowback rifle because I just have. So, again, I'm going to look like an idiot if I get this wrong, but we're going to try, okay? Try first with one of my gas magazines. I put it on snug, okay? Now, notice it pushes down. So that's what the idea is. Pushes down to put pressure on the actual, let's call it the nipple, and then it pushes the nipple up and then it loads, okay? Now, there's enough torque in this to basically push it off when there's what we would call full, all right? So, you're all laughing at me now, I can tell, okay? Already. So, we've got a mistake already, which I'm going to turn it off. Again, told you, nothing's perfect. I do say this, okay, do it again, on the nipple, and we'll try it this time. There we go. Now, that possibly could be the angle, but if you notice, it was just a slight angle change, just a very, very slight angle change, and then works perfectly. And that's all what most of this gear is like, if you think about it. Cost effective. Preserve the BBs. Thing is, it can happen anytime. So let's try this one again. Just make sure I'm off, okay? just so I'm comfortable. Yeah, now let's see if I can angle it better. So I'm going to put it on, switched on. Bit better, that one, weren't it? And you can see that is neat. Okay. One more, the dreaded magazine of all. Okay. This is my VMP. Moving on. It shouldn't really be nasty, but it's just this. Just going to make sure. Okay. Nope, it comes off. Turn it off. Again, we'll just try that again. I don't think this is going to work. I do definitely know it's going to work. Yeah, let's try it then. Go and go. Oh. Off. So again, having a few little problems. Okay. Following the exact instructions. No. That's the story of my life with that magazine. But I'd rather make a mistake and look a bit of an idiot than say to you that this worked perfectly. I would rather do that. And it doesn't. And again, some people are going to comment and say, well, you should have done this angle, you should have done that angle, should have done this. I understand that. Off. Close. Take off. Not many come out, obviously, from the top. I would, you see, I would recommend that you do keep the cap on. Right. Okay. Off again. Take it off. And I know one or two are probably laughing at me going, why is he saying off? Because I'm going to remind you, the amount of people I see that keep this on and then try and fiddle with this and then all the BBs fly out, it's shocking. Now, I have two magazines that I use a lot, okay? I have one for my Rebel, okay? Again, this is a 220, okay? So, sounds funny. Put it on. See the push? Now, this is what made me laugh about some of the guys that do this. And I'm going to always say, some of the guys on YouTube are really good, that they should be presenters on TV. They put them to shame sometimes. But again, they say, oh, you shouldn't full it totally. I'm not going to be funny, but how are you going to count that out? Close lid. How are you going to count that out? That says that that's a 220, and they say that you should only put in about 210. Unless you've got a digital score over here, it's going to be very difficult with this. And plus, you trying to count, if you can count how many rounds go in that, you should be on the stage. Some people probably laugh at that. Now, I have got my Chris Vector, okay. Now, this is 95, they say, okay. Please work, please work, please work, because I haven't honestly tried this. Oh. Happy days. Off. Again, you're all going to laugh, my preservation of BBs. Well, that rich, you know. It's a lie. Now, like I said, me, this is just me. I will put the rubber back on, probably because I have OCD. That's no joke, by the way. I can confirm I have OCD. Now, the thing is, it won't play now, will it? Look at that. The thing is, how many's going to fall out of that? Because I keep this in my rifle bag, lied down in one of the pockets. It fits perfectly. And again, this is the one that I said, and I'm not being funny, the amount of people I've seen doing the videos, some haven't mentioned this, and I don't know why. The guys from BZ Tactical, they make me laugh because he does this, which I thought was brilliant. Okay, so magazine, obviously. So it's very satisfying. And when I seen that, I did chuckle, but I understand what you mean. It's very satisfying. And again, straight on. Ready? Now, I keep that like that because not very many fall out. You hear me? There's one. Preservation. Recycling. No, I don't do that. Don't use my old BBs I've fired. So this it gets a thumbs up for me. And you can, I think I might have mentioned, you can get an adapter on the, but you're making it larger. And realistically, with the battery that you can use, I used it on a game yesterday on Sunday, and I'm going to be honest, it was one of them days where you're just constantly using all your mags. You were going out, and I think it was a long games, but very fast and furious. And I was running out of BBs, believe it or not, because it was constantly, I was up against guys with the big drum on the rifles. Some were carrying high cap mags, mid cap, and it was constant. But this stayed up. And when I brought it back last night and I took the battery out and I put it on charge, I can honestly say it was only half done. And it was used constantly throughout the day on my pistol mag, which is that there. I had 3 of them. Oops, 3 of them. Apologies, can't see. 3 of them. And I have my mid caps for my Raven, which is brilliant. And I carry 4 other Ravens. Now they say they're 220. And I'm going to be honest, I did 5 games in total. And on 2 of the games, I actually, because we were close to where we can rearm or put the BBs, can't think what you call it now, ammo up, whatever. Sounds like Vietnam. This was handy. Let's have a quick chat. So, thank you for watching so far. These are going in the region, I think, for about, I've seen some for 89, and I've seen a lot of them for 100, and then you get the 3 battery as well. So you get the battery thrown in as well, which, yeah, balances out. Now, that's a lot of money. I say this to a lot of people, okay? Especially if you're only playing 2 or 3 games a month. I mean, I try my hardest getting as many as I can, but even I'm finding it hard sometimes with the good weather, and I'm a motorbiker, you see, as well. I'm getting pestered a lot. But this here, this cost, I think if I remember, this cost about 18 quid, okay? You probably could get it cheaper. I saw one for 35 quid the other day. What was it lined with? But this can easily break. They can both break, but this can easily break a lot more than what this could. And I think if you got this, and you even did it with a mate of yours, if you're both obviously in a team, like I know a lot of the guys that are in teams. In fact, this team, them guys bought a big one between them all, and I thought it was quite clever. So they all share it in a context on a game. Whereas that, it's handy, I would always say, as a backup. That's what I would use it for. If you're on a long day or you're on one of them games that are going to be over 24 hours. But this, to me, is worth it. So those who follow me, thank you. I do appreciate it. This is worth it. You can get the adapter, I've already said, but come on now. Realistically, putting a bigger battery on it for what you're going to be using it for, it might not use it. Now, 2 other things, if you don't mind indulging me for a second. I did a video on the grenades. Yes, I've got them hanging from the ceiling. There's nowhere else. Brilliant bit of kit. I would urge you to go and have a look at the video. The feedback I have been getting from guys that have been watching my video, and obviously some that have been down to the shop to have a look at it, have been quite impressed. And the actual company themselves are putting in a lot of effort to advertise it and get it out there, and it's quite cost effective. Second thing, the game, because I've been advertising it and I've been trying to help people on Discord channels and give them information, and I'm not running it, I'm just part of it. I just want to encourage people to do airsoft more. It has been postponed. It wasn't due to numbers, it wasn't anything like that. I can tell you why. People had paid to get the places and teams, and they did the most important thing. And do you know what that is? They didn't check with their loved one their holiday dates, and it overshadowed their holiday dates. So there was a big influx, and the other people were going, oh, I'm on holiday, I didn't realize. So Phil did the right thing. He postponed it. The date's coming out in the near future. Everybody's happy. We are still going down this Sunday just for a bit of a fun. And oh, last thing, I've been getting my kit together for my project. The project, I got asked yesterday in a game, when is it coming out? When are you going to show us the Chris Vector? And I had to say, the parts are coming mostly from Hong Kong, and UPS are holding on to them. Why? I do not know. So on that, thank you for watching. I hope I haven't bored you. Stay safe what you're doing. And if you do see me on a game, please come and say hello. I'd love to know your opinion of the sport. Bye for now.